Recently, I was eating breakfast with my daughter, poured her some cereal, and said, "Stephanie, did you know there are some people that believe we can't know anything?" Her response was to think about it for a minute and then say, "Well, how do they know that?" And I thought, man, what a great line of reasoning. My 7-year-old figured it out. Joining me to discuss presuppositional apologetics, as it's known, is Sye Ten Bruggencate from Canada and Jonathan Sampson. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today.
What Sye was attempting to do is getting someone to pit their worldview, the way they really justify their knowledge, up against his. And he had nothing to really he didn't have a dog in the fight, and so he was just creating an idea. Well, I have this gut feeling that you don't really have an answer either, so I'm just going to substitute Thor in here and see how that works. And of course, it crumbled. It didn't hold up.
Now, that's something that I find regularly when you are debating these individuals, is that they very quickly will say, well, what about this religion? What about this religion? What about this religion? And they kind of throw all this stuff out there, none of which they actually believe in. Mm-hmm. Is that something you guys find as well, trying to get them to admit what they actually believe in so you can actually deal with what they're talking about?
Well, I get that kind of objection, of course, all the time. They don't want to face up to what they actually believe, so they say, well, this might be true, this might be true. I say, look, you know, I can debate you on those separate issues, but if I defeat one of those worldviews, you're going to say, well, what about this worldview? Rather than defeat worldviews that neither of us believe in, let's talk about what you believe in. How do you justify knowledge? But they're not willing to do that, because I think what it comes down to is when they start to justify knowledge, they realize that apart from a worldview where, you know, with a God, apart from God, with a deity, they cannot justify knowledge. They have no foundation for it.